Hello guys, I'm back and I'm doing an unboxing video. Pardon, my kids are having their dinner. But yeah, I've been saying my past few videos that I did a good job of not buying new plants, and I don't have any plans to buy new plants at least until the end of the year. It's November 1st today. However, about a week ago, I saw a really good deal from Andy's Orchids, and the plants that are available are really nice, and so it arrived today. So yeah, I'll do a quick unboxing, and I'll talk about the orchids that I purchased. Just opened the box, and I just want to show you guys how they pack their plants when they ship it. And you can see here the foam peanuts. A lot of it in here, really good. This order was supposed to, I received an email earlier this morning, and they said FedEx has a delay and should arrive by tomorrow, but I think they sorted it out and it arrived today. And yeah, just want to show you real quick how they pack the orders. Alright. And yeah, let me just pull one out just to show you guys how well protected it is. The plants are. The temperatures earlier this morning, I guess, went down to like around 55 Fahrenheit here in San Antonio. So yeah, it's pretty cold for us. Last week we're still in the 90s, so it's a great change from a record 74 days of 100-degree weather. So here we are, and yeah, so what I'll do, I won't show you guys anymore how I pick it out from the box and waste your time pulling off all of this foam and stuff. So I'll just go through it, remove this, and then I'll talk about what I've ordered. Already removed the orchids from their packaging, and before I talk about each one, I want to show you guys and tell you why I purchased from Andy's Orchids. It's been, I was pretty disciplined for the last 10 months. Last time I ordered orchids or any plants online was 10 months ago, and yeah, I was pretty disciplined and all that stuff. But then again, excuse me, I saw the order or the sale from Andy's Orchids Facebook page, and also got an update from my email. They sent me an email, and it's 25% off. And there are other online stores that I bought from before, like Orchids by Houserman and Louisiana Orchid Connection. They're pretty good. I have good experiences with them, and but there's a big difference, and the main difference is always how established the plants are. Louisiana Orchid Connection, I can say, if you're looking for practical, well-priced orchids, you can definitely, there's a lot there. However, most of what they're selling for cheap are seedlings, and I bought a couple from them, and they're alive, but as seedlings, it's taking a while, and some are struggling actually. But from Andy's Orchids, all my purchases are well established from them, and in their website they'll talk about it will take about a few years before they bloom or their blooming size, but then you receive them, they're like really well established, as you can see. And the other thing is, it's like it's a bonus when you buy from them. You get this all this live moss on the sticks, on the mounts. As you can see here, it's all green. I want to show you, I don't know if it's obvious in the camera, but even the wire has moss in them, and this one is really impressive. From what I know, it's a mat forming bulbo, and I was thinking maybe a few bulbs here and there, but this is full of bulbs. And yeah, so 25% off. The difference between Louisiana Orchid Connection, Orchids by Houserman, is not that much, of course, because it was a sale, but what you get is really worth it in terms of how established the plants are, and you don't need to worry much about keeping them alive. The other thing is, and I've shown you guys the mosses that I've grown in my grow tent, which is this one. This is my makeshift studio, or yeah. And I'll show you a little bit more when I put them in the tent. But basically, I got those moss from the mounts from the previous orders, from the orchids I bought previously from Andy's Orchids. Put them on a spaglum moss substrate. And they've grown, and they're all over my grow tent. Same with ferns that just pop out from these orchids, and I'll show you a few more later on. And a couple I've able to grow one. A couple I'm able to grow, and then there's one that apparently is a bromeliad, but I'll do a separate video for that. But yeah, so I just want to show you guys how well established they are, and I'll talk about each one. Alright guys, so here's the first plant we're going to talk about, and it is the Bulbophyllum allegansi large form. I hope I didn't murder that name, but it's from the Philippines, where I was born and grew up. And it says here culture is moist, let dry between waterings. That's what I've read online. Temperature intermediate to warm, and then for lighting, shaded to bright. I think, yeah, on the website, the max temperature is 88 Fahrenheit, and I think low 70s for the temperature. Not a problem in my grow tent, which is, this is actually my grow tent. And I'll show you guys later where I'll be placing this orchid. So from what I've read, it's a mat forming bulbophyllum. It has a creeping growth, as you can see here. I'm really impressed with this specimen that they sent me. It's really well established, lots of bulbs growing, and what I've seen online, that when most of them blooms at the same time, those bulbs, they have like this really soft looking, like pillowy looking mat, and that's really nice. I hope I'll be able to do that with this plant. I have a plan when I set up my own or another dart frog vivarium in the future. I plan to use a what do you call this, a tree fern panel background, and I'll place some cuttings of this plant, and hopefully be able to cover and grow all over it, and yeah, have that really nice green look with those flowers, if ever I'm able to make them bloom. So yeah, very, very nice. I've been seeing this in the website a long time now, for years, since I've been following Andy's Orchids. They also sell a cutting of this for like $5, $6. At that time, I just didn't buy one. But I'm glad I finally went for it. I saw it was on sale for like around, I think it was $16. Let me check the list here. Yeah, $16.50. So not bad, not really bad. And yeah, look at you can see how well established the plant is, even behind the mount. It's growing. So yeah, very excited about this. Again, Bulbophyllum allegansi large form, and I think it's also free flowering throughout the season. So that's a bonus. So yeah, that's the first one. Alright, for the next one is also a native of the Philippines. It's the Bulbophyllum pardallatum. And again, moist, let dry between waterings, temperature intermediate to warm, and bright shaded light. And this one has nice flowers. You can look it up. I don't want to go through copyright trouble, but yeah, I think it's like an orange red flowers, free flowering from what I believe, and up to like a 90s for the max temperature. Again, no problem in here, but I'm really impressed by this mount. It's beautiful. I don't know, there's something about wood mount that I really look forward to, especially also when I set up my fish tanks. I remember the Philippines, I went to my mom's province, and previously there, like a few months before we visited, there was a flood, and when I when we arrived, there's a ton of driftwood from the mountains that are waterlogged, and the people in the airport when we went home were surprised to see why I'm bringing home a lot of driftwood. But this one is also a great example. You can see how green it is, and all those roots. A bit on the dry side, but I think since fall they started to do less waterings. But you can see how established it is. Lots of really nice bulbs, and I'm not sure if you notice it here, but there's a tinge of like purple on the bulbs. So let me just do a close-up there. Yeah, purple tinge. So I don't know if it's a characteristic of this plant. I hope it does. A bit of variety in my collection. You can see this spent spike, so it was blooming. So I received a blooming specimen. So that's a good sign, and it's on sale for. Let me just check here. Yeah, I got it for $21.75. I think it was like originally 25, 26. Excuse me. So good deal, well established. And again, just before we move to the next one, Bulbophyllum pardalotum. All right. So for the next one is the Ceropetalum or Bulbophyllum tigridum, Sciatianum. I think orange flowers. There's different varieties, and this is one of the ways they able to distinguish which species. From what I understand, Ceropetalum is a cousin of Bulbophyllum. Some Bulbophyllum they placed in the Ceropetalum family, and I think that's what I've read last time. So it's around that explanation. So correct me if I'm wrong, but in a lot of when I'm doing my research on these plants, a lot of websites still has this in the genus of Bulbophyllum, and so there's some synonyms there regarding about this plant. So again, Ceropetalum or Bulbophyllum tigridum, water moist, temperature cool, intermediate to warm, and bright and shaded. I think this one likes it on the cooler side of things, but again, I have intermediate conditions in my grow tent, so that's not a big deal. It has really nice flowers. It has that fan-like flowers. That's why when I saw this on sale, I purchased this. Let's see here. It's actually more on the expensive side. It's $26.25. I think it was like $30, like 30, 33, 25%. Yeah. Yeah, that's my daughter. She's excited. That's my she's in kinder now, so she's excited every day from school. Lots of stories. But yeah, back from this, well established. Again, I'm sorry, well established plant. Got 3 leaves here. I don't think I have any problems getting this to adapt. Yeah, very happy. The flowers are nice. It's got like that purplish white flowers that are like a fan type of flowers. So yeah, so hopefully I get to make this plant bloom. So off to the next one. Alright, for the last Bulbophyllum or Ceropetalum, we have the Ceropetalum Bulbophyllum lepidum from Thailand, and watering is moist, temperature intermediate to warm, and lighting is shaded. And online, this plant can be ordered 2 ways, mounted or in a basket. When I was doing my research online about this plant, I think it's Travaldo blog. He has a lot of orchids, lots of experience, and he said that if on a mount, it just tries to get off the mount and the concern is just like this one, it will dry out. But he also did a modification in his growing method. It's in a like a basket, and once it tries to get out of the basket with these roots, he kind of like just tried to find a way to make it like tie it closer to the basket. And so I just decided I'll just buy it from a basket and see what happens. It just reminds me of my other bulbophyllum, and I'll show you later, the blue may. It's just like all over the place, and but it's also in the basket, and I try to keep it in place. But back to this plant, really well established. As you can see, the wires are also green with moss, so you can see they get really watered a lot, and really high humidity, I believe. And the mount, or not the mount, but the pot has I don't know if this is sphagnum moss in here, but you can see live moss growing through. So a very good specimen. The reason why I bought more bulbophyllums, aside from they're the ones that are in sale, but just like pluritalis and other orchids, in my conditions, I find that they are growing better. I tried Masdevallia. I only have one that's growing really well. The other one just needs the cooler temperatures. With Stelis, I have one that's having a difficulty also. But with bulbophyllums, I've noticed that they're doing well in my conditions. So I'm now more on the bulbophyllum Restrepia. Restrepias need to be on the cooler side, but they're, as long as I guess high humidity, they're good and intermediate conditions. But yeah, so last of my Ceropotallums in this order, really nice. Looks like on the dry side again, but I don't know if maybe it's because again it's fall to winter that they're not watering as much, and at the same time I believe that they are also aware, and these orchids are aware that it's getting cooler, so they don't want this to freeze when it's just really wet and moist. But yeah, I got really nice growth here, and we'll move on to the next orchid. But yeah, very happy about this one. Lots of growth. So yeah, to the next one. All right, so for the last one, we have a Stelis. So I said earlier, there is a one Stelis that's not growing really well for me. It's the Nidifica, but I also have another Stelis that's growing amazing for me, and I'll show you guys after this. And it's been blooming nonstop. I did a video about that, but this one is the Stelis argentata from Brazil, watering. This one needs to stay moist. I don't know what PE means, but this one needs to be moist all the time, but not like soggy moist. Temperature intermediate to warm, and shaded and bright. And when I saw the flowers of this guy, and then I saw how it looks like, and it was compared to one of my Stelis, I knew that this one I can grow. And then yeah, when I did my research, it's intermediate to warm, so perfect to my conditions. But like I'm touching the terracotta pot, and it's really cool, and that's one of the advantage of a terracotta pot. It will remain cool. I have a terracotta pot also in my collection of pots, but yeah, I might use that in the future when this plant keeps growing. But you can see all the moss growing on the sides and on the plant itself, so this is really a good sign. Again, well established. That's why I love buying orchids from Andy's Orchids. So yeah, so I'll get these guys in my tent and talk a little bit more of what's in my tent. Alright guys, before I put the orchids in, I just want to show you what my setup is right now. This tent is really full, but yeah, so I bought this a shower bar, shower curtain bar that's extendable. Bought one, place it in here so I can just put the hanging baskets, because yeah, I'm starting to run out of place. And this is the orchid I was talking about. This is the Blue May, and yeah, this plant is just all over the place. It's trying to get out of the the pot, and I'm using some sticks and some orchid clips to keep it in place, as you can see here. And then I put some sphagnum moss in between. But yeah, this one is a very good grower. It's got Masdevallia looking flowers, and yeah, it's just I can't just place it here because it's just taking too much space. The Miranda here, look at all this stuff growing. So yeah, and I'll place the orchids, and I'll do a full update about all the things that are going on in here. But it's been a great summer. Last 2 years has been great actually. So yeah, let me put the orchids in. So for the first orchid, it's the Stelis argentata. I'm placing it here right beside its cousin, the Stelis adrianae, and you can see how big this plant is. I'll show you a quick picture of how small it was before, and it was also potted, but I transferred it to a bigger pot, and you can see the spikes. It is free flowering all throughout the year, very beautiful flowers. And then when I saw this in the website, I knew that I need to get it because it has the same like long spikes and flower arrangement, but different color. And I said I need to have that in my collection, and apparently nearly the same culture method. So they say they need it to be on the cooler side, but intermediate according to Andy's Orchid. So I think this will do good here. I won't repot it yet. Maybe in spring I will repot it. But yeah, not all of the Stelis are doing good in my tent. This is one of the Stelis that I bought. It has really small flowers, but it actually now has. I've had this since what? January of 2022, so more than a year now, and it's a miniature, and it would bloom, but the bloom won't really fully form because I guess it just needs more cooler temperatures. But this is an example of one of those orchids that are not doing well in my conditions. You can see those like black spots on the leaves. I thought at first it was fungal infection, but I think it's more of the temperature requirements. It requires more cooler temperatures, because I never have this in my other orchids. And another orchid that requires cooler temperatures is this Masdevallia, and as you can see here, you can see the same damage on the leaves. Needs higher humidity, cooler temperatures, and it's been like this ever since. I've had this since January 4th of last year. So a good example of orchids that are require really those temperature drops. I think from like up to like 55 or 60. I think 60. It needs to drop down to 60 and very high humidity. This is another one, a Masdevallia. That's a Masdevallia. This is a Masdevallia nidifica. This is a Masdevallia, one of the few Masdevallias that can live in warmer temperatures. But as you can see, it's having difficulty also, and looking at those leaves. But it has grown a little bit more. Compared to last time, like it has only 2 or 3 leaves. I think it's able to acclimatize in my tent. So yeah, I'll show you the next orchid where I'll place it. Okay, so for the Ceropetalum tigridum, it's right here beside other bulbophyllums. And Ceropetalum, that's the Ceropetalum mandlandiana. And this is a bulbophyllum lachocylum. It just bloomed, a repeat bloomer for me. Really, really nice bloom. This one's spent already. This is another Ceropetalum hirundinus. And I purchased this August of last year. So yeah, more than a year now with me. So that's where it will be. Bright light, like the temperature here would be around 75 Fahrenheit, and humidity is from the misting. So for the next one, okay, so for the Allegansi, Bulbophyllum Allegansi, and the Pardallatum, I'll be placing in this area here, the 2 Philippine natives of my collection. So I'll be moving them if I need to, but yeah, they'll be there. My Bulbophyllums like this area here, a bit brighter light, but still it's it's a grow light, so it's not as bright as say if it's outdoors. And I don't want to include them in this area here where they might be shaded too much by these bigger by these big nepenthes. This area here will get no water. These are deciduous orchids, mostly dendrobiums, so this area won't be watering that much. And then I actually move one of the heads, the mist king heads, a bit away from them, so they won't be misted. So they'll get through their deciduous dry phase of their growth. So that's those two. And for the last one, all right, and for the last orchid, the Ceropetalum lepidum, I'll be hanging it on this basket and over this shower bar. And yeah, if it's true what they say online and I'm able to make it happy, it will grow really well. And just like my what you call this again, the Blume, hopefully grows like that and be able to flower. That's really nice flowers, but I think it's only like a fall winter bloomer. So but I can see a spike here, so that's a good sign. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching, for your time, for the subscribers, all the comments. If you have any question, advice, I'm learning. This hobby's been with me, like I've been doing this for like 2 years here in the United States. In the Philippines, I kind of really took it for granted because in the Philippines it's easier, high humidity, it's warm all year round, so you just put the plants outdoors. But what I like about a grow tent and growing plants indoors is I think it's more it's how do you call this, you're closer to the plants, you're able to see how they grow, see them all the time. You don't need to go outdoors. So yeah, so please hit like and subscribe, and have a good one, guys. And another last shot here. Okay, bye.